Revenge films.
Hi, I'm Stella. I'm a mother of one, and my life is busy with work and child upbringing. But there was something I'd been looking forward to for a while. A day trip that me and some friends of mine were planning. We'd been planning this trip for several months, and the date we could all go finally drew near. And one day, I was talking about that trip with the two of them. About this trip of ours, who's gonna provide the car? My husband's gonna use our car on that day, so I guess I can't.
I can though, no problem.
Right at that moment, a mother from my daughter's class, Mrs. Abbott, came to us.
Hello, what are you guys talking about?
Just planning a trip the three of us are planning.
Wait, really? That's nice. I want to come too.
Really? It's a day trip with our children coming too. It's quite a sudden trip for you, and it could be tight for you, you know? Mrs. Wrinkle said it so gently, mind. To be honest, Mrs. Abbott and I have hardly ever met in person. Coffee at a shop somewhere was different. Was a day trip with someone you hardly knew would cause one to be wary of one's behavior. I was honestly uncomfortable with the idea. Yeah, I don't know much of anything about Mrs. Abbott, but she seemed to be friends with the other moms, and if I decline to bring her along as well, that train of thought led me to a decision. I don't think it matters if one more person tags along. I gave the thumbs up on her coming with us.
Oh, yay!
Did you have a single child?
Yep, a single daughter.
So there will be 2 more people. The total will now be 8, so we need 2 cars. At this point, the time had been pretty late, so we decided to call it a day. Let's talk again tomorrow so we can change the reservation and arrange the situation with the cars.
Cool.
Got it.
All right then.
Fast forward to the next day. Mrs. Abbott's family was now fully on board, so now the 4 of us discussed the arrangements. But this is where we ran into some problems. Mrs. Abbott, who was actually the last of us to hop in our little escapades, she just took the wheel and started to make so many suggestions.
Hey, did you change the reservation for the number of people yet?
No, I didn't. Why do you ask?
That's good. Let's go on this without changing the number.
What? No change? She proclaimed that the number of people mustn't change. I got completely convinced that she was going to cancel the whole thing. Although this was a day trip, it was a trip, after all, and the money was a must. But then Mrs. Abbott said something that made me question my own ears. So would that mean you're not coming after all, Mrs. Abbott?
What are you talking about? Of course I am. This is a trip with my friends after all. But you said the number of people mustn't be altered. That's not what I mean, silly.
Neither me, or Mrs. Wrinkle, nor Mrs. Blair understood what the heck she was talking about.
I'm saying that because this is a trip with people we each know well and love, I'm asking that Miss Stella not join us.
This girl's words made 0 sense, and we were frozen clueless. Now, hang on a second. What do you mean? I don't understand what's going on here.
I'm telling you, don't come to the trip. You'll understand that if you go on a trip with someone you don't know, you're a little wary about, like, everything. And then, such a fun trip would be ruined. You should know that without me telling you, you know.
Hang on. You just stole my goddamn line! The heck are you doing? Inviting yourself and then uttering the unbelievable? That's not possible! I'm the person who made the reservations!
I'm just letting you be the one in charge. I mean, it's not like you have to be there, right? Lol.
The other 2 mothers also had expressions of stunned bewilderment. Mrs. Abbott, honey, we're only going because this trip was completely arranged by Miss Stella, you know.
Going without Miss Stella is out of the question, I say.
My friends supported me, saying that this was wrong.
You don't want to go on a trip with me, guys?
We're not saying that. It's just that common sense tells us this is complete nonsense.
Plus, if Miss Stella can't go, how are we going to arrange the cars? Only I can use mine. And you don't have a car yourself, right, Mrs. Abbott? We can all fit in a single car, guys.
Great. Now she's going to give some work for the police to do, when the trip hasn't even started, no less. Listen to yourself. 3 adults and 3 children in a small car is illegal. The feds will catch you. Mark my words.
What? Are you going to try to sabotage a fun trip between 3 friends now?
No, I'm not.
Listen here, you're just craving attention. You just assume you're the leader at every occasion. Why not look around you and understand a bit more,
You know I could say the same thing and more about you.
Oh, hang on. We could just borrow Miss Stella's car, right? Problem solved. You remember you just saying that we can't fit in one car, right? So why not go in your car?
Don't be ridiculous. Why do I have to lend my car for someone else's trip, on which I'm not invited, by the way?
Oh, it's fine, dear. It's just that my friend doesn't have the 2 cars, and I have a driver's license.
That's not the point.
Oh, good grief. This is getting annoying. Aren't you being a tad too selfish? Weren't you two also reluctant to go on this trip? The one that you arranged? Be glad I joined in the fun before she ruined your fun. Oh, and since you aren't going anymore, Miss Stella, you have some money to spare, right? This is quite a sudden trip, you see, so I'm gonna have to ask you to lend me some cash.
Enough! You've been speaking nonsense this past half hour. There's a line you shouldn't cross, and you just leaped over it.
I'll pay you back, don't worry. How about I pay you back $50 a month? That should do nicely, right?
The sheer absurdity of what I was hearing filled my mind with a red desire to explode. But then, the other mother stepped in for the counterattack. Okay, that's enough. Are you insane? Asking someone else for travel fees? And what's with your ridiculous reimbursement? We were looking forward to this trip very much. Everything seemed to be going smoothly until you came along and destroyed everything. If you want to take the wheel, think of your own trip.
What? Then how about a date to the amusement?
I'm not joining you ever.
If you want to be the leader, create a club or something. Good idea. Well, since Miss Stella is a pain in the ass, how about the 3 of us?
I'm not any joining of your bullshit.
Neither am I.
Like Mrs. Abbott a few moments ago, they interrupted her with refusals and declinations.
Hey, your attitudes are so rude, guys.
No, what's rude is your treatment of Miss Stella. I'm telling you again, you waded into our circle. Miss Stella so kindly allowed you to join us, even though she hardly knows you, and yet you treat her like this.
Yes, I agree, and I don't think I consider you my friend anymore. You're not coming with us. And now, hold on. Are you seriously choosing her over me? I can't believe you.
But of course we are. Merely comparing yourself to her is so presumptuous. You're not welcome to talk to us again.
Let's go, Miss Stella.
My friend and I left the shop, abandoning Mrs. Abbott and her arrogance. She would call back to them.
Oh, come on! I'm more of a friend to you than the likes of her. Why are you even hanging around with that bitch?
I was mistaken. She was screaming. Later on, the 3 of us gathered again to talk about the trip. What even was that stupid situation? So you 2 were with Abbott before? Yes. Well, more like I was one to whom she was friendly.
That personality of hers. She has no friends other than us. She felt lonely without us around. And when she saw you become friends with us, maybe she got jealous and thought of you as a liability.
That maybe really was the case. She needlessly emphasized her proclamations of being close to us too.
But chronologically, we've been together from when our children went to the same kindergarten, and it's quite crass to compare the likes of her to you.
Yes, I was also a bit surprised to be treated that badly even though I hadn't done anything to her. Let's forget all about it and enjoy a fun trip with our beloved angels.
Oh, goody!
And when we came back from the trip later on, Mrs. Abbott, out of resentment for excluding her, she'd gone around to all the other mothers and told them that I'd bullied her into detaching from the group. But Mrs. Wrinkle and Miss Blair kindly explained everything in detail and told everyone it was not true. Furthermore, they told them the nasty things Mrs. Abbott had done to me instead. Mrs. Abbott had now become a target of negative gossip, and no one truly ever talked to her again. becoming isolated among the mothers. It wasn't like we were discriminating against her, but she truly got what she deserved with that inflated ego of hers. I don't pity her, nor will anyone else.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.